Hello everyone, welcome to round 4 of APX Racing Season 4. Today we head to Zandvoort for the first sprint race of the season. Ryan Hurren is currently leading the championship, followed by Gio after Gio's DNF last week, and Ryan Hurren win the race due to Josh's PC having technical issues. The calendar for this season. So we've already had Brazil where Ryan Hurren took the race win. Then we went to Las Vegas where Gio took the win. Then last week Ryan took the win, and today we head to Netherlands for a sprint race around Zandvoort. Last week's race results: Ryan Hurren race win, like I said about 3 times already, followed by Alfie just under 5 seconds behind of the race winner, who finished 9 thousandths ahead of his brother Taylor Dewhurst. Then Jamaican Jam at P4, Cali Canal P5, Stan P6, Nishat P7, Starry P8, P9 was for Patrick Bellog, P10 was Crossfrog, and he rounded off the points finishers for that race. And the DNFs were Gio, who has lost his lead to the championship, and today Tommy. The drivers' standings: Ryan Hurren 18 points ahead of Gio, so if he wins the race today, he will go 1 race clear ahead of Gio. Jamaican Jam P3 on 36 points. Taylor Dewhurst P4 on 33, Alfie P5 on 24, today Tommy P6 on 20, Patrick Blogg 19 points in 7th, Jack Brassington 18 points in 8th, Cali Canal 18 points in 9th, Stan rounds off the top 10 with 8 points, and the only people not to score a point this season is Josh Richards and Matt James, who are P19 and P20. That will definitely change, at least for Josh Richards today. The constructors: Sauber leading at the constructors by 15 points to McLaren Mercedes. Visa Cash Out Racing Bulls 4 points behind them on 40 points. Ferrari are in 4th on 35 points. Aston Martin P5 on 28 points. Alpine 1 point ahead of Mercedes in 6th on 26. Mercedes on 25. Williams 8th on 20. Haas 9th on 18. And Red Bull are 10th on 8 points. The driver lineups for this season: Gio and Vincent Everston in McLaren, Echo and G-Force in Ferrari, Red Bull of Steve MKO, and that's just him because Roca has left the server. Mercedes of Patrick Blogg and Initiate, Aston Martin of Alfie and Starry, Alpine of Cali Canal and Watt, Haas of Jack Brassington and Matt James, who both are not racing this evening. Jeffrey Nasty and Jamaican Jam in the Racing Bulls. Today, Tommy and I Shadowy in the Williams, and Ryan Hurren and Crossfrog Josh, who are both racing in the Sauber this evening. So, we're already a few minutes into SQ1, and this should, load now. And the audio should be on, hopefully. It doesn't look like you can hear the game, but you should be able to hear the game. And this happened last week. Don't know what happened last week. Let me have a look. That should be a bit better. Someone in the chat can tell me if the audio is fine. That would be greatly appreciated. As the first driver on a lap is today Tommy. So SQ1 is 12 minutes before we head into a 12-lap sprint race, then an 18-minute short quali, and a 36-lap main race. Tommy to the top of the timing sheets, 1:10.4 as the pace benchmark, not cross frog. Then cross the line to go 4 tenths ahead with a 1:10 flat. BPA next up with 1:3. And Taylor Dewhurst goes first with a 3/10 gain on cross frog. Next car across the line is G-Force and he's on an outlap. So the next one to cross the line will be Josh Richards, or it will be his teammate CMKO, who is going to the line, and we'll get the tyres up for you. A2 Koskinen now first on 19,000 quicker than Nathan Den Hartog. Josh Richards goes first on the medium tyres, 4 times quicker, 1.9 flat, to Starry P6, 1.10 flat on the mediums as well. The Alpine is next up, I think. Stan, and he goes P8, 110.2. The Aston Martin of Yeet is on his outlap, and the Racing Bull of Jamaican Jam is the next one to cross the line. Let's see, as he comes to the line, what he will do. To the line, it's a 110.3 for the Racing Bull driver. The Sauber is next up, and he enters the pit lane. So what is G-Force going to do in the Ferrari as his teammate pulls into the pit lane? Car number 77 in the white Ferrari livery. The special livery that you could get by doing the survival challenge. He's going to go last with 1:15.1. That's 13th so far. That's Josh Richards enters the pit lane. His teammate, though, however, is going again on another lap. Yeet is on his lap. Gio and Initiate still not in the pit lane. And I was certain that Josh, A2 and Nathan were not going to do qualifying. But here they are doing qualifying. So we'll see if they disqualify themselves at the end. But if there's 3 of them racing, then they might as well do qualifying because they're all the same pace, practically. Well, maybe Josh is a bit quicker, but still. As Alfie to the line, he is going to go P11 with 110.9, 5 tenths off of the next car. Tommy uploads today. Tommy, Tom Gisbert, basically any of the names that I just said. A2 Koskinen has disqualified himself, so he will be starting from the back of the grid. As I was just taking a sip of water there. Steve MKO, 4,000 down on the previous lap. Will he abort? No, he's going to go through the line. You might think he can gain a bit in the final sector. He does 2 tenths. Doesn't change his position, but does put him closer to the top 10. That's A2's car is pulling away. Josh exiting the pit lane. Nathan entering the pit lane and almost hitting that Ferrari. That was close. Initiate and Gio both on outlaps. I don't know if Initiate's just this and next lap's invalidated or just this lap. And it's raining. It is. Is it raining? No, it's raining. I think it might be raining, but I don't know. I can see rain, but my eyes do sometimes deceive me, so I guess we'll find out. Initiate pebble set to 1. According to the game, you know how bad the game is with this. It's probably not a pebble set to 1. Because Josh's and A2's will still count, and Nathan probably will disqualify himself if Josh and A2 have. It's them two. Going to start from the back of the grid so far. Initiates in set 2, it's a 49.2 for the second sector. So now around the final couple of corners. It's going to go to the line. We want a 110 low here, probably. But it's going to get a 110.7 and go ahead of Yeet behind today, Tommy. So what about Gio? I do think it is raining, so that is interesting. To the line for Gio. It's going to go 8 with 110.3. Tommy's truck's on a set of mediums. Stan's truck's on a set of mediums, so it'll be interesting to see if he can go quicker on them mediums than what he did on the soft. It is raining. I'm definitely confirming it's raining now. I mean, it looks like it got a bit heavier. So it might be a bit more obvious if we could just have a little tiny look. Yeah, I'm team rain. But I've said this 10 times now. I guess we'll just find out. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad that they can't improve. As Crossfrog starts his lap. Don't think the Ferrari's on all of that. No, they're both on all laps. What about the Mercedes of VPA? He's down in his lap, but he's going to get a slipstream from the Ferrari. And 4/10 off of his personal best, and it is raining. 2 minutes 40 remaining in SQ. So, let's see how that will unfold. Is Gio on another lap? No is your answer. Yeats on an out lap, so this will be his final lap of the session. Sauber of Crossfrog? No, it's Ryan Hurren. He's down in his lap. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done a double out. He's gonna enter the pit lane, and that's his qualifying over with a special livery. His teammate doesn't have the special livery, so it does look very confusing. I think Nathan's gonna try and find a place to disqualify himself. Hopefully. Two-star was trying to follow him then. Bloody hell. Crossfrog enters pits. Yeah, the rain's getting a bit heavy, I think. Taylor down on his lap. G-Force down on his lap as well, probably. Not gonna lie. Probably the Mercedes gone off track. G-Force to the line. And yeah, he does improve by 1.5 seconds, but it's 2.3 seconds off of the next car. Ferrari of Echo to the line. Taylor 5.2 seconds down on his lap, so maybe he'll push again. Nathan on an out lap, he is going backwards. This Williams, he might get in the way of. Today, Tommy. No, his teammate does not get in his way. So then 3 starting from the pack. Ryan currently on provisional pole, but because Nathan did go kissed, he's not got a purple next to his name. We can have to take the tyres off now because it's a bit distracting. I can tell already. As we just go on board to Taylor, putting it into the wall. I don't know if that was the car head distracting him or whether it was just the track conditions affecting his car. But he is in the wall, and that is his qualifying over. So the highest he will be starting his P2 in the sprint race, where you can only get a maximum of 8 points from that race, and the points only go down to P8. So you can probably guess it goes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starry is not improving. I don't think anyone would be improving in these conditions. Steve was, but he invalidated his lap. So the Aston Martin is pulled over on the main straight. It's probably waiting for the clock to end. They both enter the pit lane. I don't know what they're stopping. What are they doing? What? I'm so confused. And that will be qualified over. So Ryan Hurren is on pole for the sprint. Taylor P2. It wasn't exciting as I thought. I think the rain ruined it, and Alpi's just smashed it into the wall. He's going to reverse across the line. Reverse it into the pit lane, actually. He's just going to get reset, though. Yep. Retired. That also works. It'll be interesting to see if there's any rain forecast for the rest of the weekend in either the sprint, main quali, or the main race. That would be very, very interesting. Do we see a digger with a finish flag? That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we're just going to wait for the results to come up, which they will do in about 3 seconds, 2, 1 now, hopefully. So then I can go through them game. That would be absolutely great. But the game doesn't like me, so it will not do it. Please wait. Please wait. Please wait. Please wait. Please wait. Please wait. There's a lot of waiting, game. How much waiting do you want me to do? Oh, I didn't even get to see the results. It just put me straight into the race. Oh, that's great. Well, we're in the race now. I can just go like this, and hopefully it don't get me to the start lights. Ryan Hurren on pole. Taylor Dewhurst second to Starry P3. Crossfrog P4, Stan P5, Jamaican Jam P6, Geo P7, Tommy Plus P8, Initiate P9, Alfie P10, CMQ P11, BPA P12, GeForce P13, and then Josh, A2, and Nathan all start from the back after getting disqualified on purpose to make sure they do start from the back. As you can see, the cars line up on the grid, selecting what tyres they want to start on their fuel load, and if they want to change any part of their setup that is allowed in Parc Ferme for the race, the sprint race, that is. We're going to have 12 laps of racing around the streets. Not the streets, bloody hell. It's not Azerbaijan anymore. As Azerbaijan. Oh, bloody hell. So, we'll see what happens. It's going to just wait. It don't give you a countdown, so just going to have to be ready for when the lights do come on. But be interesting to see who wins the sprint race, especially with the 3 at the back, starting from the back. It'll be interesting to see if they can. I would expect them to get top 6 maybe in the sprint, but you can't get a safety car in the sprint. So if they do get involved in an incident at the back, then it's a sprint over for them because safety cars just don't come out in the sprint because it's kind of broken like that. But it does make the sprint go a bit quicker, and it makes you get into the actual event really, really quick. So. No one's readied up yet. Still selecting their tyres. Looking down the pit lane. Look, it's dry. That's what I know. And that's all I know. I can see what tyres are on. Someone 2-star on the hards. Everyone else on the mediums. And we go to 5 red lights for the sprint race in Netherlands. And it's lights out, and away we go, and it's a lot of drive-through penalties. What happened there? About 6 people just got a drive-through penalty. That was confusing as hell. Yee is leading the way, followed by Taylor, followed by Crossrock, back to Starry, BP and Nathan also with drive-throughs. So the actual race leader is Ryan, who's down in P5, even though they've got drive-through penalties. So, like, that was hectic and crazy. No incidents so far. Yeats dropped down to P5, so maybe he got involved in an incident with his brother Taylor, who's in first. He's going to look to go down the inside of Ryan Hurren, not going to make the move. So I'm guessing Taylor went and everyone else followed, thinking he went, and Ryan played the smart game by not going, and Gio now putting the pressure on the Aston Martin driver. Bloody hell. Be interesting. Will they serve the drive-through penalties on this lap? Taylor pulling the 1 second. I feel like he could stay out and just pull, but he's going to enter the pit and save his drive-through. So will Crossfrog, so will 2-Starry. And Taylor's got 10 seconds to make matters even worse. And Alfie has hit the back of his teammate in the pit lane. And 2-Starry got 10 seconds. I don't know if he got hit and sped or if it was for the collision in the pit lane, but Ryan Hurren leads the race. Geo P2, Jamaican Jam P3, Initiate P4, A2, all the way up into P5 already, followed by Josh Richards in P6, Tommy Upload in P8, in P7, Stianko in P8, Stan P9, GeForce P10, Echo P11, Crossbrook P12, 2-Starry P13, P14 for that time, P15 for BPA, and P16 for Yeet Alfie. But Ryan Hurren playing the smart game on the lights, not following the others jumping the start and just waiting. I thought there was a lobby glitch and it was just making the leader, the host, wait, but clearly not. As he keeps on pulling the gap, he's going to want to pull it to over a second. Back into this lap, as DRS is enabled going onto this straight, as there is the crash at the back and it sheets into the barrier. Ryan's got Gio out of the DRS. So Jamaican Jam is now going to go for it on Gio. Oh, I should... That's a bit distracting. That's not what I tried to turn off. I tried to turn off that. No, that. There we go. So Gio down to P3. Josh Richards and A2 getting past Initiate. Moves at the back. Dan looking to get past the Red Bull CMKO. But initiate staying on the back of the Red Bull and Haas driver. Joe dropping from Jamaican Jam, who showing his pace that he had in Las Vegas in this Netherlands sprint, as initiate goes over the sausage curve, and that was a dangerous rejoin. Luckily, he didn't collect anyone, but that could have been terrible by the Mercedes driver, as Stig and Tommy are battling, and Tommy uploads stays ahead, but Stan is really hoping to capitalise, as he is currently one position outside of the points for the sprint race. Now, A2 in the DRS of Gio. Gio has fallen out of the DRS of the Racing Bull. We're on lap 3 of 12 here in the sprint race. 4 tenths, 3 tenths. Fastest lap. As he's going to go down the inside. The Haas driver on the McLaren driver. Josh Richards is going to try and follow him through as Gio goes off the track. So here comes Josh Richards. He's going to stay behind. A2 is now going to go after the top two. Josh Richards 3 tenths back. He's going to look to make the move into the next corner. He's going to go down the inside. Maybe a bit of contact there, but it's a great overtake by the Red Bull driver. Hard racing from him, and now he can follow A2, and crucially he's still within the DRS, as BPA did spin and did reset the track. So we'll see how that ends, as Tommy uploads, I'm going to guess, went over the sausage curve. However, he did spin before the sausage curve, so maybe he didn't. So Tommy uploads has spun, and his teammate almost goes into the back of him, but luckily for him, Tommy uploads did ghost, and now they're going side by side into the left-hander, and Nathan Den Hartog gets ahead. Jamaican Jam in the DRS, but cannot open it because he wasn't within it for the detection zone. So A2 does have the DRS. Can he close enough on the Racing Bull driver? Two Starry getting battling here with Crossfrog. Initiate getting overtaken by Stan. Into 3 tenths back from the Racing Bull of Jamaican Jam. Crossfrog and Two Starry battling. Two Starry trying to keep it down the inside. And now G-Force is ahead of both of them. So will he try a move here? Oh, he tried. He thought about it. Let's go back to the lead. BPA penalty for speeding in the pits. Changing his wing as well. Ryan Hurren 1.5 seconds in the lead of this sprint race, which would get him a crucial 8 points and a 5-point lead on Gio. A2 will have the DRS. Jamaican Jam, unless against 3 tenths miraculously, which he didn't, will not have the DRS. And I think Josh Richards is also close enough to capitalise and overtake the Racing Bull driver as well. So here we go. A2 with the DRS, and it's an easy overtake on the straight for the Haas driver, and the Red Bull is going to look to follow from behind. There's a crash between CMKO and Initiate, I think, maybe even further behind, but they are very bunched up, and Jamaican Jam is staying ahead of Josh Richards, which is helping A2. Will he go for it in the same place that he went for it on Gio? Yes, he will. Will it be cleaner? No, it will not. There is even more contact. Yeater's crashing. That just confirms there will be no safety cars in the sprint races. He is right on the racing line if we went on board with someone, but he's not there anymore. So A2, 1.1 seconds behind the Sauber driver of Ryan Hurren. Can he win this sprint race, starting from one of 3 positions at the back of the grid? I can't remember which one he started from. Nathan has overtaken Crossfrog. Crossfrog dropped a lot there. I don't know if his tyres have gone or something, but so on lap 6:12, still half the sprint race to go. And A2 has had a great race, as well as Josh Richards. I think Nathan can still get the points here if he pushes to the max. A2 within the DRS, but so is Josh. We'll see what happens. Initiate 3-second time penalty, which means Nathan only has to gain 3.6 seconds now to get a point in the sprint race on his debut in APX Racing. Stands 6-7 tenths behind Gio. Drew Starry up into P10, down the inside of the Sauber driver. Sauber driver's trying to go around the outside. Will he get the move done? No, he will not. So 2-star is P10, but he does have a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Echo Pit to get rid of 10 seconds, so he will finish the race in last, but fair play to him for still driving around. Is it still him driving though? Anyways, back to the battle at the front. Don't want to care if he's in AI. Stan is going down the inside of Gio. DRS, no, not for any of them. But it's going to go around the outside. And it's a good move, but let's go to the front of the pack. Into 4 tenths back. Has the DRS. And Ryan just cannot defend as Itu goes down the inside and is into the lead of the sprint race. Gio getting back past Dan with the DRS, so one really good place to stand to overtake Gio because he could just get him back past ASAP. Josh Richards using the ERS, not overtaking in the spot he has for the past 2 laps. He's going to wait and see what happens. He's going to hope Ryan Hurren gets pulled out the DRS by A2 Koskinen. Josh Richards is closing. Ryan is 8 tenths back. He has dropped back, but he will close a bit more with the DRS. Can A2 get him out the DRS in this chicane? He needs to gain 1/10 to do so. He's gained half of it, but he hasn't gained all of it. So Ryan Hurren's going to stay in the DRS just of the Haas driver. Does Josh have more ERS though to get past Ryan into turn 1? Ryan's using all of his. No is the answer to that. But I think he could be at risk of falling out the DRS on this lap. So we'll see if that is the case, as Stan now learning from his mistake of last lap and going round the outside of turn 1. Now into turn 2. And no contacts between the two cars. There is damage now for the McLaren though, so I think he went into the back of him though. I don't think that was anything on Stan's fault. I think that was perfect racing from the both of them, as Nathan is now in the points with initiates penalty, so that is very good for him. And Steve MKO has to go on the off track, so Nathan, oh, into him, bloody hell. So now all he has to do is overtake Steve, but Ryan's got DRS again, and this time he is a bit closer, as Nathan does get the move done on the Red Bull driver. Now is Josh going to go for it down the inside, and it's an easy overtake on the Sauber, as Gio has mounted the curb and gone off, so he is now out of the points. He needs to watch out for any oncoming cars as he does enter the pit lane, and he does retire the car. The Nathan P8, he did get overtaken by DMKO with the DRS, but he's going to look to go down the inside into turn 3 or 4. I don't know which corner it is. Ryan Hurren out of the DRS of the Haas and the Red Bull. And this is the battle to watch. Ferrari has been lapped, and Ferrari will have DRS because he was within it in the detection zone. I think it is Taylor. It is Taylor. So Josh Richards 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 4 tenths behind the Haas, and I think Taylor's about to retire from the sprint race with 2 laps to go. And it's a battle for the lead between A2 Koskinen and Josh Richards. Josh Richards in prime position here, because as he goes on to the final lap, he will have the DRS as long as he doesn't overtake before then. Ryan Hurren looks like he's going to finish P3 here. He's still going to gain 6 points on Gio in the championship, which means his lead will go up to 24 points. So he would only need to outscore Gio by 1 point to put a race win between him and Gio in the championship, but we could get someone else going up into P2 if results go that way. Steve is battling with True Starry, and I've just accidentally gone into TV pod. I don't know how, but 4 attempts, and he is staying ahead. Let's go back to the battle for the lead as we're going to go onto the main straight around the Netherlands and onto the final lap. Who is going to win the sprint race? It's going to be Eetu Koskinen's first win, first race galore in Apex. Or is Josh going to be able to get a win in the sprint, at least, after what happened in Baku? Eetu staying ahead so far, and I think he is now in prime position to win this sprint race. Steve did lose position to Trustari, and he is looking like he's fighting back, but the straight wasn't long enough for him. G-Force and Tommy uploads, and there's contact between the two drivers. I know it's only for P10, but contact is contact. As we now head into the DRS zone, going down into the chicane. Josh Richards needs to gain as much time as he can through this section. A bit of a slide for Eetu. Josh 5/10 back. Will that be enough for a run? Did Eetu save his battery as they're going to deploy all their ERS? Josh will have DRS. Does Eetu have DRS from that lapped car? No, he doesn't. To the line. Eetu Koskinen wins the sprint race in the Netherlands. Josh Richards P2, and it's a crash at the back. Initiates, ends up in the wall after a battle with Nathan Dana Hartog. So Ryan finishes P3, Jamaican Jam P4, Stan P5, that's in recovery drive after his drive-through penalty, up into P6 to get 3 points in the Williams. True Starry going to finish P7, but he does have 10 seconds, so he will finish outside of the points, I think. Depending, no, he won't. He'll finish P8 because Tommy Upwards to the line will finish P9. No, he'll finish P8. To show P9, G-Force P10, Crossfrog P11, Initiate P12, and BPA P13. Maybe BPA will get ahead of Initiate. But what's happened there on the final lap between the Williams and the Mercedes driver, we will not know. But Eetu Koskinen wins the sprint race, and that is currently maximum points for him in this race, and he could turn that into a main race win as well. We're going to find out next. As we are now in qualifying without a graphics table. Oh, there we go. We're loaded in now. So we are in qualifying. Actual qualifying for the main race, which will be 36 laps. So that 12 laps was fun. What will the next 36 be? As we're just going to wait for the cars to come out the pit lane and head into qualifying. And the first car will be a Mercedes, and it is not BPA, so it is Initiate, the driver that DNF right at the end. of the sprint race with an incident with Nathan Den Hartog, which I'm sure will be reported after the race if there was anything Nathan could do to avoid the incident happening, per se. In this qualifying session, they'll have 3 sets of softs that they can use, unless they pick the softer allocation, which you wouldn't do. You never pick the softer allocation. And they'll have a medium as well, or if you pick the harder allocation, you'd get a hard. But you wouldn't use that in qualifying, you'd save that for the race, which is going to be a 2-stop race due to the tyres being 1 step lower than what they were at the start of the game. So they're a I'll get words out. They're a step softer than what they were at the start of the game, as Initiate will start his lap. So let's go on board with the Mercedes driver. Down to turn 1, down to 3rd gear. Ideally not touch the curb, but he does. Tiny lift, shift down to 3rd. On the power as soon as possible to take the run through these S's style corners where it's flat and then into the right hander. Take that flat and then you want to deploy the RS. You don't have to shift down there, but you don't really use that much time. That corner is flat, but not for Initiate on this lap. You get a bit of a slide there. Down to gear 3. On the power, opens to DRS. Floor it until you get to the chicane brake at the 100. And into the left, down to 2nd. Nice short shift to stop the wheel spin. And then down to 5th. And then flat to the line. What will Initiate? Oh, what will Initiate do? As he goes to the line, 110.1 for the Mercedes driver. Next to cross the line is going to be Jamaican Jam. Will he go quicker? Yes, he will. 4 tenths quicker. Pardon me. 4 tenths quicker. We're on 9.7. Aston Martin is next of Toulouse start. No. Geet, but he's on an outlap, so the next car will be G-Force, who is on a lap into the final corner, down to 5th, then floor it to the line. Don't want to use too much of that cable, otherwise you'll get yeeted straight into the wall. And to the line, 1:11.2 for the Ferrari driver. Next up, the 2 Saubers on outlaps and Tommy on an outlap. So Stan on an outlap. So is the next one Yeet or is the next one two? The next one's Yeet. So let's find out who's on a lap. Initiate's definitely not on a lap. Ferrari of Taylor is, but G-Force, that's Taylor. So a lot of people on laps, on outlaps, but not on actual laps. I'm trying to find the car. It should be a V-carb. No one V-carb. Oh wait, he's entering the pits, that's why. So Initiate will also enter the pit lane, but BPA won't. So BPA is going to start his lap. So now we do actually have a lap because it's an Aston Martin of Alfie, and he's going to come to the line and he's going to go P3 for 100ths of a second, 3 100ths of a second behind Initiate. Call it P3. I don't know if the Saubers are giving tours here, but Ryan Hurren is giving a massive tour to his teammate Crossfrog and enters the pit lane. That tour wasn't well affected, but he does go P2 with 110 flat. Don't really think it affected him that much. Toby Upload P6 for 110.6. Sam P2 for 198. The Aston Martin next up. And I think he invalidated, so he will be going again. Taylor next to the line as he approaches the line, and it's a 110.2 and puts him P6. Patrick Balog is next up. BPA from Hungary to the line for the Mercedes driver. The one will put himself somewhere between two cars, but no, it's going to go last. So far, 1:11.2 behind G-Force by 1,000th of a second. The Alpine of Stan will not be on the lap. Sauber of Crossrock will not be on the lap. Aston Martin of Yeet. So it's 2-starry next across the line. A 58.3 for the middle sector. So I don't think this lap time is an actual lap. Because, yeah, it's not. He's going to go for another lap after that cooldown lap. The MKO is on a lap though. And he's going to go around the final corner. Not get slipstream because the Aston Martin's too far ahead up the road. But he is going to go to the line. And he's going to go P8 for 1:10.7. The Ferrari is next up, but he's going to the pit. So it's McLaren of Gio starting his flying lap. BPA is up on his time by 0.3, and he's going to pit instead. So I'm guessing he did not have enough fuel. Alpine next up, and he's going to go into the pit lane. Ryan Hurren is on a outlap. The Haas of A2 is on an outlap. Tom is on a flying lap, I think. Unless he's just going very quick on this in lap. No, he's on a flyer. He's opening up the DRS. It's going to go to the line. And he's going to go quicker and go P3 with 1:9.8, 7/10th improvement. Very close up at the top so far, but none of the quick drivers have attempted to start a lap yet. What will Gio be looking for as he comes to the line? And it's not going to be. It is going to be quicker. It's 1:9.5, 0.2 quicker than P2 for the McLaren driver. Yeet is next up, and he spins, but he was on an in lap anyways. Doesn't break the DRS board, which is good. To Koskinen, our sprint race winner in the Haas, is on a lap, and this lap is on target for pole position. Opens the DRS. Full beans to the line. And he is going to go fastest by another 0.2 with a 1:9.3. Ryan Hurren to the line. He's going to go 13th for 1:15 flat, so he must have made a mistake. Ferrari of Taylor is on an outlap. So Josh Richards is the next driver to the line. Around the final corner. Going to open the DRS. Use the ERS that he has remaining, and actually he's not on the lap. So that was his second outlap. Second outlap. G-Force to the line to start his flying lap. A2 is going to be entering the pits. So we could go on board with Josh Richards or Ryan Hurren. Ryan Hurren probably, as he's 2.5 seconds up. 48.4, that is a good middle sector by the Sauber driver in the special livery that he got by doing the survival challenge, I think. DRS open, ERS. Will he go quickest in the kick? No, he will not be kicking A2 off the top step podium, and his championship rival is ahead of him, crucially. BPA starting his flying lap. However, Echo Taylor to the line. And he is going to enter the pit lane instead. It'd be good to see how much time's remaining in the session. That would be great. Josh Richards to the line, and he's going to go quickest by 1 whole second with 1:8.3. So that's a great lap by the Red Bull. And he'll probably say that wasn't a great lap. That's Nathan. I think it's going to look to qualify himself, maybe? I don't know. The enters the pit lane. Let's actually go on board with that time because we might as well. No, I think he's doing 2 cooldown lap, 2 out laps to get rid of all the fuel. Ryan Hurren is on an in lap. BPA is up on his time as he's going to go through the final corner. Let's see what lap he does to the line. DRS open. So we got P12, 1 second improvement, a 1:10.2 for the Mercedes. About the Talbot of. Yeah, he's entered pit lane. Thought so. Josh is not on a lap. G-Force on a lap. No. DMKO's on a lap though. We're on the final corner. Needs a 1/10th improvement if he wants to improve his position on the grid thus far. To the line, he's going to get a 2/10th improvement and go ahead of G-Force with 1:10.5 for the Red Bull. On board with Nathan, who is still on his second outlap. But a bit slow. BPA is probably on an lap. Yes, he is. Jamaican Jam has just started his flying lap with however many seconds to go in the session remaining. I do not have a clue because it usually says in the top left, but it's occupied by yellow flags that are being caused by Nathan Den Hartog, which is not the greatest. 5 minutes remaining in session. That is great. Thank you, Nathan. We was going to start on board with Jamaican Jam as he is 9,000th up on his lap. That wouldn't improve his position, but would put him into the 109.6s. I mean, he needs a 1.4 second improvement if he wants to look anything pole. And he's just on 2/10 up, which would put him up into P3 maybe? I think up into P3. Surely he has a bit more to give in the final sector. He didn't look like the best. He didn't use as much as the track as I was expecting from the Racing Bull to the line. To improve by 2.5 and put himself into the 109.4s with 193 and put him third. Bloody hell, not 193. Jesus. A2 can start his flying lap. Initiate on a. I think he aborted his lap. Stan is coming to the end of his flying lap. And I think they will all get one more lap to do. With 4 minutes remaining around that area. Stan is going to enter the. No, he's not going to enter the pit. He's going to go to the line. He's going to improve by 4/10 and go up into P4 for the Alpine. So 194 for him. 444. All the fours. 44. Yeah, we're not playing bingo, Will. The MKO is not on a representative lap. Truce Starry. This will be his first proper lap, as his previous lap was a 1:21.9. And he is going to go 7.195, 12.3 second improvement. And Nathan has got a 3-minute lap. And he's still going hella slow. Which is absolutely crazy. Initiate riding the curve again, I think, but here comes A2 Koskinen to the line. It's going to improve by 7/10 and only go 2/10 behind of the Red Bull of Josh Richards. What about the Alpine? Is he on a lap? No. Is Crossfrog on a lap? Yes. 3/1000ths of a second up on his lap. He needs 2/10, or just over 2/10, if he wants to improve his position from P9 on the grid. Can he get into the 109s? That'll be his target for this session. Tried to get a tiny slipstream, but didn't affect him. He's going to get into the 109s, not improve position, but will. It's that 109.903. The Mercedes to the line, but he's not improving. Yeats starting his flying lap. G-Force on an out lap. So the Talbot of Ryan Hurren's on an out lap. The Aston Martin of Touge is not on a lap. And Nathan's just going hella slow next to A2. So we're going to have the McLaren on an outlap. Bloody hell, anyone not on an outlap? What about the Aston Martin? Yeah, the Aston Martin of Alpine is going to be the first one to cross the line. A bit of a mistake on exit, and he goes off the track and into the wall. So that's going to be his qualifying over, depending on how much time's left in the session. But Josh has retired, and so is A2. They both disqualified themselves. So it's yellow flags. Initiate is on a lap. He's 3/10 up on his time. That will put him up into P7. It's 5 plus grid penalty for G-Force for a collision with Patrick Balog. To the line for initiate. It's a 1:99, 2.5 so just under improvement for him. McLaren Gio starting a lap, as well as the Williams and the Aston Martin. Williams of Nathan's going very slow in the final corner. I think I knew his plan. His plan was to start first of the people that start in the back. That's crazy. Sixth for Trujan is going to go up into P2 with a 2/10 improvement for him. Ryan Hurren is on an outlap. Crossbox P7, 1/9. Oh wait, he already had that lap. BPA to the line, start his lap, as well as Taylor. So the next one to cross the line will be the Red Bull of Steve MKO, who is not on a lap. So it's Ryan Hurren starting his lap. Bloody hell, is anyone not on an outlap? Jamaican Jam starting his lap. So the next one to cross the line will be Gio, who is down on his lap. Car number 8. Using all of his ERS to try and gain all the time back. Can he do it? ERS open. It's a 1:10.4. Doesn't improve. The car behind does so. Today, Tommy goes best. 1:93 for him. But didn't see that coming. Bloody hell. Now I've lost track. I don't think anyone else has improved. Crossfrog is down in his time by 7:10. So let's go on board the Aston Martin of Alfie, who spun at turn 1. So the next one is True Starry. Can he look for pole? No, he's going to enter the pit lane. What about Taylor Dewhurst? He needs to improve by 1 second if he wants to get pole position. And he's going to improve by 6/10. It's a good effort. Up into P7 with 1:95. Ryan Hurren. Can he take pole? He's 3/10 up. The Sauber driver to the line. It's a 1:9 flat. It's currently provisional pole for him. Jamaican Jam up into P2 with a 2.5 improvement. Steve MKO is not on a lap. What about Gio? Is Gio on a lap? I think he might be attempting to finish a lap. I don't think he's going to improve though. 3,000 down. It's a good effort from him. I don't think. No, he's not on a lap. Is Tommy on a lap? No. So it's pole position for Ryan Hurren, followed by Jamaican Jam, and once this session's over, we'll just get a rundown of how the session went. Now, will it be please wait again, or will I actually get a rundown of what happened? I have a feeling it's just going to be please wait again. This time it's not a water I need, it's a toilet, but I can wait the entire 36 laps. And hopefully, yeah, there's not many safety cars in this one. Now that I said that, people are probably listening, going to cause a safety car. So we'll see what happens there, and it's just going to put me straight into the race. So we'll go through the grid in the race director like we did in the sprint. I don't know what's been happening with this, but it doesn't want to work. Right, let's have a look at the grid. Ryan Hurren on pole, Jamaican Jam P2, Tommy Uploads P3, 2-Star P4, Stan P5, Geo P6, Echo Taylor P7, Crossroad P8, who has just left the session, Initiate P9, Alfie P10, Patrick P11, Steve MKO P12, Nathan P13, Josh P14, Ed2 P15, and GeForce P16. And it's not raining, but it could rain later. Oh, there's noise, bloody hell. They're a bit happy for this race to start. Will we get drive-through penalties again? That would be interesting. Hopefully people have learned from their mistakes. Maybe Ryan will get one this time. That would be totally not good for him, but maybe good for some people. As we're just going to wait for the 5 red lights. Waiting, oh, forever waiting. And we're still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. What else? It's like the race is over with all this bloody fans being happy. The quality was yesterday, mate. I don't know why they're celebrating this hard. They could have just won the race. Bloody hell. F1. What a great sport. Here we go. 5 red lights. Will anyone jump the start for this main sprint? Main race around Netherlands? No, they will not. And it's a good start from the Sauber. It's down in 10-1. It's going to have Jamaican Jam down inside, no work. So Ryan Hurren up into the lead to Starry P3, and there's contact at the back. Tommy Uploads dropped down to P10. Taylor P6 trying to go around the outside of Stan. And then 2-Starry, is he going to try and attack Taylor? Yes, he will. Or will not, actually. Jamaican Jam P2. BPA losing position to A2 Koskinen. Josh Richards up into P10. Nathan up into P8 already. And one of the cars has gone off. And I think it was Yeats who is into the wall. He's back on track. And fighting the Sauber of Crossbrook, who's down into P14. So not a good start for him. Ryan Hurren, 7 tenths is the gap in the race lead. He's going to have to try and push to extend this gap before Nathan, Josh, and A2 catch again. Talking about A2, he's 1/10 behind of Tommy Uploads. Will he get the move done? He's going to use the RS. Ryan's got fast lap, obviously. It's the first lap. And A2 down the inside. Josh getting past 2-Starry. A2 ahead of the driver. And in the wall is BPA, and that is a virtual safety car, not a full course, but a virtual. And he crashed, his car kept on going, so I don't know what happened there. But Patrick Blogg is out of the main race, and it has run a virtual safety car, so drivers are going to have to stay within their delta to make sure not to get a drive-through penalty. Obviously, you can get a drive-through penalty for jumping the start, but you can also get one for not respecting the delta under the safety car, whether that be a virtual or a full course safety car. And just like that, DMKO gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. And Ryan Hurren and DRS is enabled. Ryan Hurren's 4/10 ahead of Jamaican Jam. So can Jamaican Jam stick with him going into the final corner? BPA has left the session, that's understandable. 5/10 is the gap. 3/10 now. And Jamaican Jam is going to go down the inside and get the overtake done before the corner even starts. Initiate and Gio. Initiate down the inside, Gio on the outside. Contact. And Initiate is ahead, but Gio ain't going to let this one down. But does and stays behind. Now the Alpine's going to have a look down the inside of the McLaren driver. Them two battling once again. Nathan P6. And Josh getting past Taylor. Down into the run of the right-hander. Gio did get past Initiate. Or back past him. Now Stan's got Nathan all over the back of him. And Nathan gets down the inside. And Josh has absolutely sent it from Azerbaijan, it seems, to get ahead of Stan. The Ferrari of Taylor has Fustari trying to attack him. Will Touche go down the inside? He will try to contact. Taylor still fighting it. We'll get the DRS, but so will Touche. And Taylor loses position. And now the Haas is down the inside of A2 Koskinen. So Taylor has also gone wide. Taylor is not having the best of weekends here. As now Yeet is up into P11. Ryan Hurren sets a new path to slap. Initiate and Gio going at it again. Initiate down the inside. Dan backs out. Now here comes the Williams of Nathan Den Hartog. With the Mercedes driver of Initiate 2/10 ahead of him. And this is a great camera. Here we go. Down the inside. Josh is going to follow. Will Josh try and also get Nathan at the same time? No, he will not. So next up for Nathan is Gio. And then he has to get another 2/10 before he gets the lead of the battle for the lead. Ryan Hurren did get past Jamaican Jam. Sorry, I missed that. But there has been a lot of other incidents happening. I'm guessing it was just an overtake. That was easy on the straight. That's Nathan. 2/10 back from Gio. We'll wait for the main straight and it'll probably be 2 positions lost for the McLaren. I could watch Jamaican Jam 5/10 back. Go for the move for the lead of the race, but I feel like it's just going to be switching for the entire race, to be honest. And yeah, it's an easy overtake yet again, and it's raining again. If my eyes aren't deceiving me, but they were last time, I think, so maybe they are. And it's 3 wide. Nathan ahead. Josh getting past. Oh my god, Gio has just gone onto the grass and absolutely yeeted it into the side of Gio. And that's a full safety car for what? For this. For Taylor. And Taylor has wing damage, so it'll be interesting to see what happened with Taylor and the other cars. And this will just bunch the field back up. Jamaican Jam is leading. Will anyone pit? It is raining, so will they go for the intermediates? That will be interesting to see. One like 5:36. We'll see what happens. There is an incident report already by Patrick Bullock for his DNF, so we'll see what happened there. And I wonder if I'm allowed to show them on stream, play incidents. I guess I can show the clips. Maybe not the actual, like, thingy. Maybe I'll try and show the clip of what happened when it gets posted, if the safety car is still out. But we can see who pits first, and if anyone does pit, and what tyres they do go on to. So, Jamaican Jam into the pit lane, he's on the hards, so I'm definitely guessing he's going to intermediates, as well as every other driver that's pitting. Now, will anyone gamble and stay out? We'll have a look. It is intermediates for them all. Josh Frog waiting for the inters. He's going to pit. Probably. Oh, the evidence isn't ready yet. We'll see if any footage comes in before the safety car ends by the Mercedes driver, but Stan did stay out and is on the mediums, so he's taking the risk. Alfie's gone onto a set of mediums, and Steve MKO is on the hard, and he's going to enter the pit lane to go onto the intermediates. So, and he's sped. That is crazy. Speeding up whilst on the safety car in the pit lane is, yeah, something. And he's left. And he's on to a set of mediums. This is getting very, very bad. If the safety car says that, I'm going to go for a quick toilet break real quick, I think. And it will stay out, so I'll be back in 2 seconds. As we are back now, and Stan has pit onto the intermediates. SteamKO has rejoined them, I'm going to guess, and pit onto the inters after 7 is 10-second time penalty. And the safety car will probably stay out for another lap. So the grid is Jamaican Jam P1 so far. We can actually, now everyone's on inters, have a look at the position changes. So Jamaican Jam in one position, up into the lead of the race. I thought he did start first, to be honest, but guess not. So first so far for the Jamaican Jam. Ryan Hurren P2, losing one position. Nathan P3, 10 positions gained as well, same as Josh Richards who's P4. Initiate P5, also gaining 4 positions. George remained the same in P6. Adrian Koskinen gaining 8 and up into 7th. Pustari gaining losing 4 and up into 8th. Taylor losing 2 and down into 9th. Like I said, losing 4 and up into 8th, that's crazy. Tommy losing 7 and down into 10th. Stan losing 6 and down to 11th. G-Force getting 4 and up into 12th. Crossrock losing 5 and down into 13th. Same with Alfie losing 4 and down to 14th. And Steve losing 3 and down to 15th. And it's a bit wet on the track right now. And I think no matter about the Red Bull, the safety car will be in this lap. I think so. I think that's how it works. I think there's been enough laps for it to come in, and this rain is a bit heavy. And you can see the water on the track. All the puddles. And the safety car is in this lap, so Jamaican Jam will be leading the way. And he'll be able to set the pace of when he decides to go, that's when the rest of the field will go. You're not allowed to overtake before the start finish line, so, and you're not allowed to go side by side either. So we'll see what happens as we weave into what the tyres on a cold Tuesday night. in Stirk. No, I'm joking. As we're gonna wait for Jamaican Jam to pull the trigger, and he goes racing. So Ryan Hurren's been caught napping, I think, because Nathan and Hartog and Josh Richards are battling it out. Josh Richards up into 4th. Initiate hits the back of Nathan. A2 getting past Gio. So Gio's down to 7th. And it's very, it feels like 0.5 times speed right now. Everything's so slow. G-Force has gone off track and drops down to P14. But Ryan Hurren battling out at the front. The championship leader. Josh Richards down the inside of the Kicksauber and up into P2. There'll be no DRS whilst the track are in these conditions. So as Ryan Hurren goes off and he has no control of his car, A2 Koskinen is up into P5, Ryan Hurren down into P6. So the two championship contenders are currently running 6th and 7th. That is not funny. Jamaican Jam 3/10 ahead of Josh Richards. 2/10 now. And he's going to get him before the straight even starts, because Jamaican Jam was taking that final corner really slow. So Josh Richards up into lead the race with 26 laps remaining in this race. Nathan Hard to P3, A2 P5. Spray is heavy, Crossfrog pits. And good job everyone did pit, because if Stan would start on these mediums, he would be in the mud. The mud, I say. That's A2. Is going to look to get past Initiate ASAP. And down the inside he goes. EI. Oh, and there's contact between the Haas and the Mercedes. No damage for either of them, but A2's going to be getting frustrated here. He's losing valuable time behind the Mercedes driver. So he's going to try and get the move done here as soon as possible. Ryan Hurren goes wide again. He's really not liking these conditions right now. 1.5 seconds is a gap. Nathan's probably going to get Jamaican Jam on the straight, you would imagine. As we can go on board with the Williams driver. Four tenths is the gap. And will he attempt to dive bomb? No, he will not. A2 will though. Down inside of Initiate. Initiate goes a bit deep. Contact again. Wheel pucking. And now down the inside and gets ahead of Initiate. Initiate will not let this one down, so he's going to go back down the inside of the Haas driver. So it's great battling by the two, but there is a bit too much contact for my liking as Hill Dewhurst and Gio going side by side. And that was good from both of them. No contact made. And that was good racing. As Nathan is right on the back of Jamaican Jam. Josh must have made a mistake because Jamaican Jam is now gained 6, almost a second here. What is happening to Josh? Josh is just dropping back. And maybe he just wants a bit of fun, but I don't know. Don't really look interesting as Nathan makes a tiny lock up there. Locking his rears, almost losing control of the car. There's a battle for the lead between 4, 5, 6 drivers right now. All in a train. Nathan is going to use his ERS. He's not going to go for it yet again. Oh, will he? Because Jamaican Jam's gone deep. But no, he will not. Ryan Hurren 4 tenths back from Initiate. Will he be looking to make any moves soon? What about Taylor on Pujstari from 3 tenths behind? You can use the ERS. and will stay behind the Aston Martin driver. Ryan Hurren 4 tenths back from the Mercedes. Initiate 2 tenths back from the Haas. No damage for anyone, which is surprising with all the contact being made, but maybe it's just a physics model as the Williams has got past Jamaican Jam. I didn't see that. Apologies again for missing that. I was focusing on something else probably, or daydreaming, I don't know. One of the two. Nathan will look to make the move on Josh Richards soon, you would imagine, with being 2 tenths back. Now that Jamaican Jam doesn't have slipstream 2, Josh Richards, will it be easier to overtake a car for Nathan? Will he look to make the move? No, he won't, but Ryan Hurren will. Down on the inside of Initiate. We know Initiate doesn't back out of moves, so... And Initiate gets forced off track, and it's another safety car, because Alfie has crashed just before the Sector 2 detection zone. Alfie crashed his Aston Martin, so... And Tommy Uploads has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So, already a terrible race for him, but it's got even worse. He can't even save this until the safety car goes back green flag racing. So the grid will regroup. Ryan Hurren can reset from his mistake. Patrick, if you have the clip, we can play it on the stream, because yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happened. Oh, it's we can have a look. I don't think anyone will pit, so we can wait and see if anyone does pit, but I'd be surprised if they do, unless they do pit and go to the end. It was already entertaining before the safety car. We didn't need the safety car. Yeah, I'm just going to wait to see if anyone pits, and then I'll take a look on the stream. And they will pit. No, they won't. They're going to all stay out. Probably. I'd be surprised if anyone did pit. Maybe Tom pits and retires. Or maybe not. I don't know. Right, let's take a look. Right, let's get a window. Right, let's have a look here. No, oh, bloody hell, that was almost... There we go. Right, let's have a look at this incident between Patrick Balog and Yeet. So Yeet trying to go around the outside of Patrick Balog and just closes. Oh my god. Let's slow that down to half speed. To the slower speed, maybe. So down into turn 1. Yeet's trying to go around the outside, which is fair play so far. And then Yeet's gonna just turn in on Patrick Balog. Patrick catches it, or tries catching it, and then Crossfrog just comes steamrolling in and breaks off his tyre. So that's unfortunate for him. So that's probably going to be a penalty for Yeet. And that could mean a race ban for him, which would be very unfortunate, but game's game. Game's game. That was unlucky to DNF, but unlucky to DNF. Yeah, I don't think the DNF would make the penalty any different. But he did 10 on you. But we'll leave that to the stewards, which does include me, but still, we'll leave that to the stewards and see what we all agree to. Back to the race it is. 2 DNFs of Alfie and Patrick, so the brain does look like it's got a lot heavier, so maybe this is full wets soon. Who knows? Has anyone picked for the full wets? Steve MKO has picked for the full wets, so he's taking the risk, but will he catch back up in time? He has a lap to catch the rest of the field. Josh Richards leading the race, then Nathan, then Hartog, then Jamaican Champ, then A2 Koskinen, then Ryan Hurren, then Initiate, then True Starry, then Taylor Dewhurst, then Stan, and then Gio runs up the top 10. Tommy Plus does have a drive-through penalty, so he probably will fall to the back of the grid, maybe just P13, depending on if STMKO does catch up. 20 laps left of this race. We're all warming the tyres in the cold conditions. Dewhurst. I said Dewhurst. Taylor Dewhurst. Jew. It's like if you're saying... You can't say Jew without saying Jew. Like, what? No, Dewhurst. Like if you Jew are fine. I don't know how else you say it. What? Dewhurst? Taylor Dewhurst? That doesn't sound right. I'll ask him how he say it after the race. We'll just call him Taylor for now. Taylor Hurst. We can call him Taylor Hurst. The safety car is in this lap. That would be Dio though. Anyways, Josh Richards controls when they go on the safety car restart. Third safety car, he has restarted in the past 2 races. As Josh will go, and Nathan loses a bit of time, but didn't get caught napping that bad. And my keyboard has just disconnected. That is a terrible time for it to disconnect, because I don't even know where my wire is. I'll plug it back in. I should have thought about this before the race started. There we go. There we go. We're back. So, what is happening? Tommy Upload's pit service drive-through penalty. Starting is P10. 4 tenths back from the McLaren of Gio. Ryan Hurren. Going to try and get in positions here. And do you reckon Jam is going to get overtaken, maybe? By A2 Koskinen? Maybe not. Ryan Hurren's going to look for it, though. No, he's not. Never mind. I've seen things. Initiate down the inside of Ryan Hurren. Contact. And Ryan Hurren stays ahead of the Mercedes driver for now. Nathan Den Hartog 3 tenths back from Josh Richards. 6 tenths now. He's dropping. But they've also dropped Jamaican Jam, so A2 has to get past ASAP. Otherwise, the top 2 could just run away with it. And we don't want the top 2 running away with it. We want the biggest fight as possible for that race win. So A2 is catching. Will he send it down to turn 1? No, he will not. And the grid remains the same, however 2-star he is, 3/10 back, but stays behind. Taylor Hurst is 8th. Of Gio, who's not having the best of races as of late. DNFing last week and retiring from the sprint, as well as being P9, not the best place for him to be so far. Half the race left to go. Well, not 18 out of 36. We're halfway there. Oh. My saying is so good it might get copyrighted actually, so let's not say it. Let's do that. Nathan, 3/10 back from the Red Bull driver. Ryan Hurren is going to get past the Haas as soon as possible. I should stop saying as soon as possible. Think of new words to say. Get past the Haas. Pronto. As this is just a train, and without DRS it's pretty hard. It's hard to overtake with DRS, let alone without DRS around this track, so we could just have the same grid it is right now for the rest of the race. Who knows? As Stan enters the pit lane, is it to put on the full wet tyres? I can tell you what, it's not. It's to put on the intermediates. What about not Cross Frog? His is to change his wing. And put on the inters. Josh is 3 tenths ahead of Nathan and Tommy. Has overtook him too because he only had to drive through. He didn't have to pit to change his wing. Zaytu did get past Jamaican Jam just there. So now Ryan Hurren is going to look to get past Jamaican Jam as well. Maybe not. He's going to stay behind of the racing buff now. That's because he has no pressure from initiate. And that wind, you can see with the rain, it's absolutely chucking it down. Worse than the British weather, this. And this is Nathan's home track as well as Tommy Upload's home track. That's all as far as I am aware to being home tracks. So Nathan would hopefully win, but it's not going to be still smoothing with A2, Ryan and Josh all being in the race together. Spustari is going to go down the inside of the Mercedes driver. No contact. Initiate stays ahead, at least for another lap. Unless you can get past in another place, which would be pretty hard to do. Around Zandvoort. Battle for the lead. Nathan. Josh. Side by side. And A2 is going to look to join in the fun as well. And Ryan Hurren's going to be seeing this fun and being like, I want to join. Let me get past Jamaican Jam as soon as possible. Pronto. Another word. Now, basically, now. Get me past him now, is what he'll be thinking. But it's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as being like, give me the position. Give me it. Here to 6 tenths, and it's not 6 tenths, that's way closer than 6 tenths. The game's lying to me. He's right on the back of the Williams. Oh yeah, okay. 4 tenths, 5 tenths. For the Haas driver. Nathan and Josh are going to be battling again. Not on this occasion. But Ryan Hurren, nope. Taylor's 1.1 second behind 2-star. Lap 21 of 36. 15 laps of racing left to go. I felt like it was in lap 10 like 5 minutes ago, so the race is going pretty quick. Nathan all over the back of the Red Bull. I feel like he has more pace than the Red Bull driver here. But maybe Josh just isn't full pushing. Maybe Josh is saving his tyres. Maybe he don't think he can get to the end on them tyres. Maybe he'll have to pit again. 3/10 is the gap. To Starry. 4/10 back from initiate. And Taylor is catching up to Rouge. Obviously no DRS because it is intermediate conditions. So you got to use a battery and also use your pace to get past, which Nathan has 0 in the final sector, it seems, because he can keep with him in sector 1 and 2, but can't keep with him in the final sector. Ryan Hurren is battling with Jamaican Jam, and is he going to look to go down the inside? No, Jamaican Jam defends nicely. Ryan Hurren could look get as big of a run as possible and use his battery. Now, usually the light means that he's harvesting, but because it's wet, it's the rain light to make sure cars can see you with the spray, which there is none because the spray's disappeared. There's now a dry, not dry line forming, but like a line. You can see where it's wet, you can see where it's dry, basically. You can see the line that most drivers take around this track because of where the water all is. And Nathan. And Josh, very, very close, yet again, on lap 22 of 36. He could get a great run here and get a move done. Not a good exit by Josh. A snap, which means Nathan will be absolutely licking his lips at that 3-second time penalty for Gio. Down the inside goes Nathan on the Red Bull driver. Maybe a little tap there from the Haas of A2, but it's all fine and fair. Down inside, a bit of contact again, but yep, fine and fair. And Josh defends nicely and stays ahead, but we've been so low, we've not got as good of an exit. So Josh and Nathan battling it out. Ryan Hurren also looking for it on Jamaican Jam, but doesn't get the move done. Nathan has way more pace here, it seems, from the outside view, from the spectator. He's just not able to get past the Red Bull driver. The Red Bull driver's just saving his ERS, saving his tyres, and using it all on the straight, which maybe Nathan's having to use it in places that Josh doesn't, because otherwise he can't keep up with him. Because once you get to this situation, Josh can just stay ahead. I mean, he is closer on this occasion. He's a bit way closer than what he was last time. A 10th is a lot. He's going to go down the inside again. Josh just seems more clear in that corner, which confuses me a bit. Jamaican Jam staying ahead of Ryan Hurren, but he is going to extend his championship lead to a race win with this result on Gio. I don't know if Gio is going to be second anymore after, if depends on where Taylor finishes, I think. I mean, if there's another safety car, we can take a look at the driver standings again, but wouldn't even have a safety car for that, which I don't think would happen with the clean racing we've seen. Well, except from that one incident, it's been pretty clean. From what I've seen from the commentary box. 12 laps to go. It's probably like 20 more minutes of racing. Josh is 3/10 back. Nathan's 3/10 back from Josh yet again, but got a way better exit there, and it's all over the back of him again. That's not going to help his line into the final corner. Why is he going so far to the right, and why is he trying to attack? Because now he's not got as good of a run as he had before. He'll want the outside here, but he's going to have to stick with the inside. The outside feels way better at that corner, because then keep it around the outside again at this corner, and then just have the inside for the next corner, which is absolutely great. Jamaican Jam and Ryan are battling it out yet again for the P4 position. Ryan might not end up on the podium at this race, which would come as a surprise to many viewers of APX Racing. Used to seeing Ryan on the podium. You can see this race from his POV on his Twitch channel. Ryan_Hurren. It's going to go around the outside, down the inside. No, going to stick behind. Nathan and Josh are battling, and it is up into first. What have I missed here? They're battling it hard, and it seems A2's just like got past him. Or too busy focusing on Ryan. It's always Ryan's fault. Bloody hell. 11 laps to go. 10 when they cross the line. And Nathan is close again and is going to try and attack Josh again. But he didn't get in and is instead losing. A2 could win both races here and get maximum points for the weekend. 2-star pits. So Taylor's up into P6. Initiate into P7. Gio up into P8. Now will Tommy upload to get ahead of the Aston Martin driver? We can have a look. Of course we can have a look. It's going to be close on exit. Never mind, it's going to be... It is going to be close actually. No, it's going to be easier. Oh no, it's not. Bloody hell. Picky man will. But he is ahead of the driver, Ryan Hurren. Jamaican Jam. Battling it out. Still for this P4 position, but all this battling could help Taylor. They crash. Taylor's all the way up into P4, which would be great for him. Down the inside goes Ryan Hurren. Clean, fair racing from the two of them. He's going to go around the outside. No, he's not. He's going to back out, and Taylor's catching heavily, but Jamaican Jam's gone deep. Ryan Hurren's going to go around the outside. And he's got the other thing done on Jamaican Jam, but will Jamaican Jam be able to get past on the main straight? We'll see about that. No change at the front of the pack. Or will Taylor get past Jamaican Jam here? Ryan's up into P4. We'll see if Ryan has the pace to pull from the Racing Bull and maybe even catch the top three that are currently 5.6 seconds ahead of P4. So as long as they don't lose a lot of time, they will be guaranteed podium, which would be great for two of them on debut. One of them practically on this debut because last week didn't really count with his blue screen because they would have won otherwise. Taylor, because he's Ryan Hurren's getting stuck hella behind Jamaican Jam because he's already getting 2.2 seconds on the Racing Bull driver. So if that's not what Ryan's going to lose, Taylor needs to get past him as soon as possible. Needs to see that Ryan's gained 2.6 seconds and has to overtake. It has to be crucial for his race. I don't think there'll be any changes for the lead of the race again. Maybe there will, because Josh Richards is catching and catching and catching. And just going to go down the inside of the Haas. He backs out a bit, but sticks and doesn't. He's going to get ahead, but it's just going to keep it around the outside. No contact. Oh, and Nathan's just drove into the back of Josh and broke his wing. Well, that wasn't very smart. And that might help Ryan Hurren get a podium, which also isn't very smart. Now is Taylor going to be able to get past Jamaican Jam? We've seen overtakes in this corner. Will Taylor go for one here? No. Oh, Taylor has damage. So this is great driving from Taylor for him to have damage. Nathan's now falling out. DRS and Ryan is catching heavily on the top three. And Initiate's also in the train for P5. 5 seconds Ryan's getting on Jamaican Jam. So Jamaican Jam is making Taylor and Initiate lose a lot of time, and maybe Gio can even catch. Gio does have a 3-second time penalty, but he has 10 seconds, Tom, so you don't have to worry about behind. so far, unless he makes a mistake, and he will have to worry about behind. Now Josh Richards is catching, and he's going to go down the inside again, probably into turn 1. It looks the exact same as last time. G-Force has retired it in the pit lane. Good, because I don't want to sit catcher in the middle of this. Josh Richards and A2 side by side. And it's great racing from the two of them. A2, Josh, side by side. A bit of contact, but it's all fair. And A2's going to try and keep it around the outside still. This is great from the both of them. And A2's still around the outside. And now Nathan's trying to get back involved, but with all this battling, they're losing time to Ryan, who's now only 2 seconds back. And G-Force has added 2 to the DNF, so Patrick and Alfie to make it 3 for DNFs for this race. Jamaican Jam 7 seconds behind Ryan Hurren. It's absolutely crazy. It's how much pace Ryan has in this race. The championship leader is only 1.5 seconds back from the top 3. 2 4 attempts back from the lead, and Nathan could be looking for a move here on the Haas. And could it be 3 abreast? No, it won't. And Nathan stays behind. So Ryan is now almost within a second. I probably will be after these couple of corners. Taylor down the inside Jamaican Jam and gets the overtake done. So we'll see how much pace Taylor has as well on Jamaican Jam, and see how much time Jamaican Jam loses here, or if it was just Ryan having extremely good pace. But Ryan Hurren is now 9 tenths back from the top 3, so he's gained entire 6 seconds in not even that many laps. So he could be a real contender for the race win here. It's a 4-way battle for the race win. We could also see Initiate getting past Jamaican Jam. Taylor is now getting 1.2 seconds on Jamaican Jam, but is not catching Brian. Or if he is, he's only catching a little bit. With 6 laps to go in this race. That 4 tenths back. And it's a DNF for Jamaican Jam. Jamaican Jam's crashed, but there's no safety car. What? Jamaican Jam's crashed in the final corner. So all that defending, and he's crashed. That's lucky for him. They obviously did not like these conditions. It was obvious to see, but unlucky for him. Not had the best last 2 races. Maybe Vegas was the one-off, but we'll see next week if he comes back fighting strong. Four-way battle for the lead. Be absolutely great to see. Six tenths. The gap between the Haas and the Red Bull. And I wonder if they're just going to stay like this for the rest of the race. Because they've sort of hyped this up for no reason. But this is the closest battle on the track, obviously. Between the 4 of them. There's no one else within 1 second of each other. Obviously there is no DRS because of the rain. Which did also occur in the sprint. In the sprint quali. There was rain in sprint quali. In the second half, so we only went with the first lane laps. Ryan Hurren is right on the back of Nathan here. Will he look to make a move anytime soon on the Williams? Obviously, Ryan's showing his pace to be able to catch up to the top 4. So we'll have a look at the fight for P1 between the top 2. As it looks like A2 is catching and catching and catching. Will he make the move? No, he will not. He's going to stay behind for another lap. We've only got 4 more laps to go. Gio is losing time to True Starry here, so it'll be interesting to see if True Starry will get within the 3-second time limit of Gio, or if Gio will be getting P7. But Josh is leading the way. And oh, A2's gone off track. A2's gone on such curve and gone off track and it's dropped down to P4. He is still with the pack. But Ryan Hurren is now up into P3 and Josh has got a 1.2 second gap to the Williams of Nathan. So will Ryan Hurren be able to overtake the Williams? Will the Williams be able to overtake the Red Bull? Obviously the Williams does have damage from hitting the back of A2 Koskinen earlier in the race, or the back of Josh, one of the two, earlier in the race a few laps ago, so I don't think it gives you a straight line speed. I think that's just a myth. But we're on like 34, 36. That's on his 3/10 back, 2/10. Oh, and Ryan's got a snap, but so did A2, so A2 won't gain that much. But Ryan Hurren is 6/10 behind now. And if A2 didn't make that snap, maybe he could have got the overtake done. Nathan is right on the back of Josh Richards. For 3/10. Yeah, it's always closing, but then it gains through some of the corners, like this one. That would be because of the wind damage for the Williams driver, and the Red Bull CMKO is helping his teammate here, but actually never mind, because there's no DRS, so he's not helping him, he's actually just giving him dirty air, but that could help the Williams of Nathan and Hartog, because he's going to look to go down the inside into turn 1, but will not. So Ryan Hurren in P3, will he look to make the move on Nathan? He's going to stick, and A2's going to stick it down the inside of Ryan. 2/10 back. Nathan is very close, and Josh getting dirty air from the Red Bull, his teammate, who is being lapped. 2/10. One lap 35 and 36. 2 laps to go. Ryan looked to stick it down the inside of Nathan there. But Josh is staying ahead. As we're going to head on to the final lap of the race. Has Nathan been saving it for this opportunity on the main straight? We are on the final lap now. Will he look to make the move? Not into turn 1 he won't. So he's going to remain in P2. Josh is going to remain P1. Brian P3. A2 P4. Taylor P5. was thinking about it there, but Nathan is also thinking about it on the Red Bull and thinking, where can I? Oh, Z2 has gone into the wall and has broken his front wing. So he'll be P4 probably, because I don't think Taylor's going to catch him. But let's focus on the battle for the lead with half a lap to go. I think this is Josh's race to lose right now. As Gio gets past initiates in the wall, and so is True Starry. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe there was another collision and that might get reported after the race. But let's go back to the race lead as we head on to the final straight. 2 tenths. Will Nathan be able to get Josh Richards? No, Josh Richards is going to win the race. Nathan P2, Ryan P3, A2 after that last lap incident is going to finish P4. Steve P12, Taylor's going to come home P5. Gio is going to come home P8 because it's 3-second time penalty, even though he's going to come home P6 on track. We'll drop him down to P8 as Two Star is going to take P6, Initiate P7, Gio P8, Tommy P9, Stan P10 getting points for the second race in a row, and Crossfrog and CMKO are going to be the 2 drivers that don't get points in this race. As we now head to the podium, and then we'll summarise what happened, and then we'll show the calendar, and then we'll end it there. Woo! Oh, it's doing kicky uppies. Anyways, clearest driver for Stan, most of the Stan driver of the day Josh, fast lap Nathan, race winner Josh. I can't press F. Oh, I can. Right. Josh wins the race by 2 tenths to Nathan. Ryan P3, Edu Koskinen P4, Taylor Dewhurst P5, True Starry P6, Initiate P7, Gio P8, Two Mifflers P9, Stan Randall, the points finishers. Crossfrog and CMKO, the only finishers not to get points. Jamaican Jam, G-Force, Yeet, and BPA all DNFing from the race. So, the calendar. So, Josh has just won the Netherlands race. So next week we head to Hungary, then we head to Silverstone, then we've got Singapore Sprint, then we head to Imola, then Monza. So we have an Italian double header, then Spielberg, Austria for a sprint in round 10, Mexico round 11 for another sprint, round 12 is Canada, round 13 is Saudi Arabia, where we could have a champion crowned, and round 14 will be Abu Dhabi. So that was the Netherlands sprint race. Another great race. We've had 4 great races and I've only done 3 of them. So hopefully the rest are like that. I've said that every weekend. I hope they are. That is that one over. And I'll see you guys for Hungary next week. So cheerio for now.